action.
So, we use the GOAT term, you know, greatest of all time, on all the LeBron and Jordan and Kobe topics. But, you know, we see youth players and they're good, and some of us, you know, think they have potential to be great eventually. So, how does that translate? Like, from your experience as coaches, have you had a kid that was just super talented that it just continued to rise? And, you know, just from a perspective of greatness, I guess, you know, we use the term great very loosely. So have you seen a great youth league kid become a great high school player to continue to go on to a great college player?
Stopping at college or going to NFL or just stopping at college?
They can go to the NFL, they keep going. But no, stopping at college, at least getting to that college level, being a dominant player.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, Kermit, right?
No, I had quite a few.
Okay.
I can say one of them I can say was Quincy McDuffie.
Mm-hmm.
He in high school, in Pop Warner, he was different.
Mm-hmm.
He was different. He was just determined to be great. I can say that much there. Like hated to lose. That's one of the kids that say, we lose a game, he cried.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you knew right there he had the passion for the game. You know, he had the grit for the game. He had the grind for the game. He wanted to win. He wanted the ball. You know, determined. Every time he touched the ball, he was determined to score. That was just his mindset. You know, deep in, you're determined to be the first one to get a tackle. So I can say that much with Quincy. Then he went to Edge in high school and had a little setback with his back a little bit. You know, he just had that tight, solid muscle. We got a kid that's born with muscle. You think he's lifting weights at 6, 7 years old? Right. That was Quincy. You know, his body was compact, just straight heat. That was Quincy. And so his high school career didn't go as great until he got to senior year. Then he started, you know, just excelling then. But he transferred to track. And he was the first person since like Mr. 45 that ran unofficial 45.99 400 meters. And then it equated to like a 46.01. So that was that. And then he had the opportunity going to UCF. Of course, you know, he holds a record for the longest kick return in the history of, you know, UCF and actual college. I mean, just Georgia, the first kicker, won 103 yards against Georgia Bulldogs that year. So he averaged about almost 40, 50 yards of kick return, you know. So he had opportunities, you know, going on to, you know, Dallas Cowboys and then the Canadian League. You know, but that's one of them kids that I knew from Pop Warner that he would excel at least through college. Because you know, NFL is a dream, college degree is a reality. So that's my model for him. So once he got to college, I knew he was going to do well there too. And was graduated. You know, that's one of the biggest things.
That's the key. That's the key. You can get that paper. Yeah,
that was it. So I can say Quincy McDuffie was one of the players that I seen develop and grow from 6-year-old all the way through.
All right.
I think we throw that GOAT term out too early. These kids be using the GOAT greatest of all time.
Thank you.
Like, to me, the GOAT is, like you said, he just broke down that young man's career from youth league, high school, college to NFL. Mm-hmm. You have kids that go to youth league and kill. Might have the best youth league football career ever. Get to high school, don't do nothing. To me, GOAT is you making it all the way to the top, buying your mama a house, getting your mama out the hood. That's GOAT. As far as you just had a good year on the juniors or the seniors or whatever, high school, 9th grade, you good, and then you flunk out, and then people bring your name up years from now, you're not the GOAT to me, you just failed.
You know, just piggyback on that GOAT, you know, I haven't seen a GOAT in youth football that made it from youth, you know, all the way through NFL, 10-year career, Hall of Fame. I haven't seen that GOAT. I don't know where people get that from about being GOAT after youth football, because Clinton Dix was not that GOAT in youth football.
Right.
He didn't become that GOAT until his junior year at Dr. Phillip. So, I mean, so where's his GOAT? You know what I mean? Manny Milano was not that GOAT in high school, not that GOAT in Pop Warner. Didn't go first round, but guess what? This joker here went 5th round, starting for the Buffalo Bills, gonna have a long career, probably 10 years.
That's
so
cool.
So the GOAT is for me, the G is for the one that had that grit. The O is for the one that had that opportunity. A is the one that had academic. And T, the one that was there at the right time. That's a goal.
I think that 6'2" kid that's the dominant one is never the dominant one throughout his career. It always works out that way.
Yeah.
I feel like the kids that develop throughout youth football are the ones that end up actually being successful and have a better career. Seen it
Time
numerous
after
times.
time.
To that 6'2" kid that's just killing everybody, and then by the time he's 14, he's average.
So when do you really when do you really start with the 6'U kid? You know, you see he's good, but he may be the fastest kid on the field, so that's why he's winning right now. You know what I'm saying? So around what age do you start saying he might be that guy? Like, I ain't even saying pro guy, I'm just saying like that high school transition type age. 12.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Around juniors, 12.
In our organization, we have a kid who's going to Florida State. From day one at age 6, he was maybe the fastest guy on the team. So a lot of times people get that term mixed up of who's the better person or who's the fastest. You can be fast and outrun everybody, but I think that catches up later. That's why we see that phase when we talk about the high school. But I coached the kid for the last 8-9 years. Nobody really talk about. But right now, he's the 5th rated cornerback coming out of 2020. He going to Florida State. He's the highest recruited player. The school he played at wasn't the best, but he had Miami, Florida, Ohio State, Alabama. He's going to Florida State, but he's kept that as we talk. Like, wow, he's going to be there. We see that. Like, he can tell you, like, we this kid here from the time he was there, even through high school, we've seen it. He played the greatest position at cornerback. He's 6'1", 6'2", 200. He's going to probably flow. Start as a freshman. And like you said, be able to buy his parents a house and all, because all the coaching, like, that boy gonna make some money, and it just came right in. And he could be like he was saying, the hard hits going for it.
He can be. You know, it's just interesting. You know, when they say, you know, I like you said, you know, buy the parents a house and buy them new car, stuff they need, or for the basic. Them kids that's come from a certain environment. Yes,
come from a cloth.
You follow me? That's different. So in a sense, but it's funny because at one time. I had 8 boys that graduated at the exact same time from college at one time, 8 of them. And I even had opportunity to train them for pro day. And out of them 8 boys, now they had great extensive career. Trico Johnson, good career at UCF. Came out All-American, had run a 4.49 and 40, went to Arizona Cardinal, everything, right? He came by him on my house or a car. Didn't make it. We got a degree. So that's about his life and his family now. Right. Okay, that's one. I'm saying, so is it buying a mama a house or car with a college degree? Or we buying a mama a house or a car with NFL? See, I think we missed the conception is that the only way we can buy the mama a house and a car to make it to the league. That's not true. Yeah. It can be, you can do it by getting a college degree, the right college degree. That's one thing about it now. There are 2 types of college degrees. That's sociology, they put you through to get through the path to get your degree for you to play football. Then that's one that you go in your field. You're an engineer, you're a business.
If I had if I say, one guy, I'll probably say my nephew right now. It's been a few that came through, our program. But he's one, Archibald Pierce, he's one that we basically started the Lake Operators College with him. Him and a few others, my son, a few of their friends. It was like 2008. We were like, man, they just dominating this other league. Like, we need to go to a better brand of football. So we went to a different league. We're not in that league anymore, but we went over there and we knew if we had that good core group. And his nickname was Little Man, because he always was like a man among boys, and that was always his nickname. And then he kind of dominated pretty much every level he was on. Even high school, he played varsity at 9th grade. In the Oregon State, All-American, Pac-12 All-American, freshman. Average 6 yards of carry in college at running back, and he played the position that everybody want to play. He just actually excelled in. Now, man, for the Chicago Bears, and I say if it was just one, I would say it was him, because he's just kind of the guy that always was. You just knew he was gonna be that guy. But it's like other people, me and Josh know kids played with him. He asked me about kids. I he didn't make it. You know what I mean? The best one probably you say Charles. He probably the best kid I ever seen play through your level, but it didn't. Get out for him, you know what I mean?
So how many times do we see a kid also that he everything potential-wise, and then he ends up being 5'9", 170.
Yeah, everything has to work out.
Where does that work? The best defensive kid I ever coached in my 18 years coaching ended up being 5'9", 170 pounds. And he had, in high school, he still had 15 tackles in the state championship game, but you're playing linebacker.
Yeah.
Who's taking you?
Yeah.
Where are you going to play linebacker?
Yeah. So everything really has, and I say that, and the topic was brought up because I listen to ESPN, I listen to all, and they throw the term around loosely, like great. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at the Facebook post, and I'm saying like the best 10U kid in the nation, like.
Who knows?
Like, who ranks that? You know what I'm saying? So like,
I don't know that's one of my cities.
And it's good for the kid for real if he has a solid foundation.
Right.
Because if his dad, mom, whoever say, "Oh, there's somebody out there wants you. You see number one now, right? Oh, they coming to get you now."
Yeah.
So you have to use the reverse psychology in that aspect of it. You don't take that away from the kid because guess what? If he's number one on that list, he's somewhere on everybody's list. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have to be number one. But I just look at even professional athletes, how they throw greatness around, like Mahomes. He's a good quarterback. Is he great yet? You know what I'm saying? So like he hasn't even hit his peak. You know what I'm saying? So when they can't get it right on the professional level of greatness,
how you get it right?
How you get it right on the youth level? You know what I'm
So the
saying?
kids you think they're gonna be great. You look at them at that time, they don't make NFL. They're the ones that don't make it. I give you one example of one. I don't know if you remember this guy. You ever heard of Embry Peoples? Remember that name?
I remember that.
Embry Peoples. Okay, when I tell you this, they're doctor. Embry Peoples played me as a youth, 6 years old. I remember I had Quincy McDuffie, Dennis Jenkins. I'm just naming guys that was fast. This man came out there from Miami. Mama was a 100-meter champion in Miami. Dad was the basketball star in Miami. So you know it's in the what? Come from the closet, in the blood. Boy came out there, we ran the race, he didn't know what to do, big shoes on, ran past all of them. I said, who is this kid? I was watching him grow, watching in the back, he was in the back. Next thing you know, this kid here became the fastest 12-year-old. You look up the record at 12-year-old, you know, people ran 11.200 meters.
Jeez, sound like me.
Look at the record, when you look at it. And it shows. So what I'm saying is this kid here he that fast now. He broke all the records in the USA. You can pull it up, look at Florida League track club, not Florida League football, but track club. This how fast he was. I'm like, this boy gonna make it NFL. Got Dr. Phillip, killing him. Had 25 offers, went to Georgia Tech. Coach came in, changed the system. Now you gotta swing. No more I formation. All that opportunity, guess where it's at now? So that can, you know, so he could have been great. Maybe could have went to LSU, could have went to another school, but at the same time, that can hinder you too.
Yeah. So
it's programmed.
And I hit with parents all the time. I said to me, it's good to be greater later. You feel me? Greater later. Like who cares? It's 30 million youth guys scoring 40 touchdowns at 10U, at 8U, whatever. And that's not to take nothing away from the kid, but what I'm saying is if you're greater later when it counts, meaning you're a late bloomer and you get to high school and you may just be going through the course, boom, 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 and then you hit that spike. And now that's at the right time. See, to peak right now, it's not the right time, but you can't control that either. But your grind, your grit has to be continuous throughout the whole process.
That's probably why a lot of we see studs, youth stars don't make it because they're great at a certain time.
You know,
You don't have to work. Yeah, you don't have to work because you're great. So when you don't have to work, now you got guys that people are preaching you got to work hard. Guess what they're doing? They're working hard.
Yeah.
So these guys that don't work hard, they peak out, and that next guy
They catch him in 10th grade, and then they don't want to work hard. They try to pass him that.
I think the best thing ever happened, like my nephew, you know my nephew Isaiah, he was always a great football player, but he was never the best player on his team, except for his older year. But every young year, he had to work because the boys ahead of him were that group of kids. We won Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and he was a smaller. By the time he kept growing and getting better and getting better, in high school when he finally filled his body out and he became a 6'1", 210-pound cornerback. Now Division I college one. Now I'm playing for the Vikings because he got picked up by the Vikings, and he was one of the kids that actually, even though he had a good youth career, he wasn't the GOAT kind of kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who he was, but he wasn't just the all-star best player in the world. But by the time he got to college, he's the best player on his high school team, best player on his college team, goes to the league. Yeah.
And I would say my son was the same way. Like Josh, you probably don't really remember my son. Like, no, he never a name. You always knew the Jesse, Charlie. You always knew other names. You just really never knew about him. But he was the same way. He just always
is always.
And then, like you said, by the time he got high school, he was the best player on the team. Like, it just happens that way.
The champ. What you got to say about the champ?
I say, man, we use that GOAT term
Loosely, right?
Man. Like, you're not the greatest until you really accomplish something. Like, you can get a kid out there, and like you said, it was in track. We had a kid in track, came out the blue and beat the #1 kid in the country. It's always, you number one, but remember, 2 or 10, we're trying to get in your position.
I guess you look at, saying about the ones that ain't working hard. That's why Tim Tebow said it's perfect. All work beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. But them the ones that don't work, even to the day right now, I'm telling you, the superstar, the guys that would be the GOAT, they ain't working, they're not working. The ones that trying to get to that point, they working.
And that's why I tell kids, it's different levels of success, right? So I always tell parents and kids, I say success is when 2 things meet. And that's preparation and opportunity. See, you always have to prepare for success, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come. But if you're never prepared, those 2 won't ever cross. You're going to get the opportunity at some point, but will you be prepared? Exactly. So your preparation is something that you could control. The opportunity might be here, or it might be here. But at some point, they're going to cross. And if you're not prepared, you're going to get one. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL is a far-fetched dream, because you have to be the right height, right speed, right weight, be in the right place when lightning strikes twice.
Right time.
You know what I'm saying? So lightning has to hit here twice for me to make it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get it. They push that goal, but like us as coaches, us as leaders, it's more so like we gotta tell them to use the talent they have to get to the places that they need to go, and then let them chips fall where they may from there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I always tell the kid, what you want to be when you grow up, and I won't hear nothing about sports.
Yeah, but
most can't.
And I think with that, I think they can answer it. The problem is the way we ask the question. I do, like I said, I was listening to you earlier about mentorship program. We do that on Wednesdays, right? When I told my kids, I said, when you go to school, they're going to ask that question. What you want to be when you grow up? I said, don't answer it until they give you choices. Don't go ask me what I'm going to be when I grow up. What you want to be when you grow up? Because my son ain't going to say what? Football player. I said, don't ask that question unless they give you choices. You want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an engineer, you want to be a businessman, you want to be an entrepreneur. Give me choices so I can think first. Then I can answer that question.
But then they have to also have that same passion they have for the sport, or something outside the lines. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I want to be a doctor, if I want to be an author, I gotta have that same type passion for that in order to be successful. Because the same thing, that opportunity and preparation is gonna meet at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you was gonna say something?
That's something I told my son too. Like, he was going, he's in college now. He was asking about degrees. He's like, what do you? I said, man, well, I think it really don't matter. I said, what do you like to do? It's easier. Like, if it's easier, if you want to do it, it's
call
easier.
me.
So he was like, when he first started, he was like, and I said, it don't really matter what you choose. I'm okay with it. He said, what I like to do. He said, I'm gonna take up computer engineering, but it's not gonna be easy. I said, I know playing football and taking up a degree like that ain't easy. I said, but that's what you want to know what you need to do. You know what I mean? Like, because it's gonna be easier for you because you like it. Like, that's something you're interested in. You don't have to think twice about what you want to do. I want to do computer engineering. Fine. And that's what he chose, something that,
right.
He like to do.
And a lot of these kids young, man, they fascinated by the rims, the cars, the jewelry.
Yeah.
I preach to kids like, man, you can make $200,000 with a job, right? You ain't got to be in the streets. Yeah, you see the dope boy flashing, all that kind of stuff. You can get that on the job and sleep at night.
No,
not worrying about the police coming, not worrying about the jack boys and all that kind of stuff.
I tell you, it still don't cost much. You think it costs. Exactly. Somebody flash $3 grand like a lot of money.
And that's all they got.
That's it.
You take that away from them, they broke.
That's the real.
They only got that right now.
Right.
That's the real.
That's it. That's everything in their head.
And they
right
own
there.
somebody.
No, exactly.
There you go.
They're looking for the image and not looking for what's
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
You know, I tell my kids we have to talk. It's so funny. I'm gonna have a round table like this here in my house yesterday. We were talking about how.
But that's what, I'm gonna let you start, but that's what needs to happen.
Round table at the house.
Yeah.
And I did that yesterday. You know, we talked about two things. One was the image and what's authentic. And I said, God said, a car passed by. You know, after my sister's house, so a car passed by. I said, look at that car right there. Big rim, big colors, old peanut butter guts, look good. I said, them the car that was on the side of the road when we go to spring break. I said, what you mean?
But the engine ain't right.
You feel me?
Inside out.
Yes, the engine was terrible. And I said, back in my day, I had a Maximum, real car. So I just passed right by him looking like that. Then they said, and then all of a sudden the girl, she sit out there with the day do so. I'm like, oh my God.
And then
I put on over and get by. Now he going on flatbed. And she don't want to go on flatbed. She trying to go to the Reed right. I said, that's an image and that's authentic. And another thing I was sitting out telling the kids, I said, the reason why a lot of football players only say football, because at home,
It's already been preached.
that's the mindset. Football, that's the way out. That's how you get in college. That's how you go to school. Well, okay, if that's the way out and that's what they're going to pay for, because you got talent. God gave you talent, now you go ahead and use it and get that scholarship. But remember now, it's true. Everyone not going to finish. Bible said it best. He said 25 come on a scholarship. There's a freshman. 10 leaves still on the team. Where the other 15 at? They're gone, right? So I told my son, my boy Lo, I said, Lo, I'm going to put you in a situation where when you do go to college, you have something, a field to go in.
Right.
I'm not going to let you just go there and be a football player. Let them dictate what you're going to get a degree in. The number one degree that kids have is sociology.
Social.
And that's $10 an hour.
Right.
You follow me? That's the easiest degree to get a little job, at the school, intern or I don't know what you call it, ISS teacher.
Right.
That's sociology. You follow me? Yeah. So I said, I'm gonna put you in a situation where when you go, you can get a degree. When you come out, you get a good job for your field. So I put them in a magnet program, TV and film production. There's so many magnet programs. The parents run into the schools for the good team, but they're not thinking, let me run to a school that have a magnet program, maybe we have a better life later, but they're not thinking that way. There's an engineering program at Jones. People talk about Jones, but it's a program at that school. The engineering program at Edgewater. There's a medical program at Apopka, a TV and film program, international studies at Dr. Phillip. So I put it in that. Guess what? Graduated with what degree at Notre Dame? TV and film production. The 3 series, the 3rd series about to come out, the lead production on the series, All American. Guess who won the credit? Lowood Jr. Why? Because I put him in that situation in high school that has something when he go to college, you have a field to go in. Now he don't make NFL, which he did not. Starting, doing great, snapped out Achilles against Navy.
And that's the thing.
And now you're done.
A lot of people be like, you ain't make it to the NFL. And I preach to the kids like, nah, I ain't make it to the NFL. I had my shot and my chance, but okay, if you call that a failure, me getting a college degree, I take that.
I take that.
I got them paper. I walked across that stage on Mother's Day for my mother. I was able to give her that,
Yeah, you gave it to her because that's for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So a lot of them kids think NFL and get that paper.
You gotta find that passion though. Like I'll take my grandfather. He had an 8th grade education, right? He was a concrete finisher, right? But that was his passion. So he really never worked a day in his life. You feel me? Because that's your passion. So when a kid finds their true passion, now the key is to find how you can make money from your passion. And then when you do that, you never work a day in your life. I don't give a damn if you're playing football. You know what I'm saying? You're not working because that's your passion. So if you are a computer engineer, you working, but that's your passion. So that's what you like to do.
Free time anyway.
A lot of these I think a lot of these kids get to realize too that football really isn't their passion when they get to the college because it's a job. It's a job. And you actually gotta work.
Boy, ain't that the truth?
The kids get to realize that, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really the true passion anyway. That's just all they knew.
But that's why we got to teach
Boy,
them.
you good at that. I gotta get to love on that. That is so true, right?
That's why we got to teach them to use the game and don't let the game use them. You feel me? So they don't get a sociology degree because that's the easiest way to stay eligible. You know what I'm saying? Unless that's their passion. But you know, if that's their passion.
I don't think they know that. I don't think they understand that NFL. I mean, 'cause I don't think they think NFL is a job. They don't know that. They think it's still football.
NFL is not a job.
It's a business.
College is a job. College is labor.
But they're not thinking that way. And here's the thing about it: parents don't think that way. I didn't know, and I mean, I don't know how long y'all been coaching. I've been coaching since 1991. So I don't know, so that's how long I've been in the game, right? And I never forget going to meet Warren Sapp, going down to meet Warren, we're gonna go to the game, And I pulled up and I'm like, man, what you doing? He said, man, I'm gonna go to work. I said, y'all work in the NFL too? Now here I am, 30 years old, talking about asking this man, do he work in the NFL? He said, boy, the NFL is my job. I'm gonna go clock in. I wasn't thinking about. I see. We don't think that way. We think I'm going to play football. No.
I tell kids all the time that NFL don't start in August. They work in March and you don't get perfect at what you do to start in August. You have to build that up. And I tell kids all the time, they don't just show up on August, September, and then uniform and playing. There's a lot of work going on. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of things. But to be that, to be perfect, and to master that, you have to put in the work off the screen. That's what a lot of kids don't do. We live in a society now of everybody's on the screen.
A microwave.
So
instant.
Yeah, so now we live on the screen, but they don't see what's off the screen. We talk all the time what you do behind the doors, what you grinding when nobody's on, the camera's on. The kids don't do that. They want right now because they see the lights and all those types of things.
So that's on us though.
Yeah.
Y'all agree? That's on us to make them understand, because we was probably those kids who flipped on that TV and said, "Oh, that's what I want to do." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, I got an accounting degree. You know why? Cause I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna make it to the league, and I ain't gonna need nobody to take care of my money." You know what I'm saying? So I've been broke for so long. Let me have this issue. Let me have that problem. But that's, I feel like that's on us to say, "Hey, look. This is the area that you've chosen. Now these are the scale rates. Like we done took the NFL off the table, right? So you're going to college for this degree, and this is the average salary, okay? And this is a monthly payment on a house that this is like, can you survive off of that? Exactly. Like teaching them finances at the granular level. Like I gave my son when he was young, he always hit me up for 2020. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you like I get paid." Okay, so every 2 weeks, you'll get your allowance, right? So when you spend it on a game, because that's what you want, you ain't getting no more money until your next payday, you know what I'm saying? So after you start pushing that on them, then we have to introduce them to that finance, make that uncomfortable situation for them so they can value the dollar as well.
You gotta give them options,
what I'm saying?
choices.
And then at that point, they'll be great.
Well, you know what happened. Though. In the school system, we came. You had a class for that. You remember y'all had a certain class? We had a class when I came up. We had a class. Instead of
I had economics.
Well, no, it was mandatory when we came up, where they learn how to write checks, how to deposit, balance it, how to save money.
They don't do that no more.
That's done.
Nobody don't write checks no more. You just take
Right, but so when they take that out, now it'll be up to us to teach the kids the responsibility.
We'll have that in the league.
And that's a good class for it.
Financial literacy at 10, 12 years old is very, very, very important, because I think about all the money that was probably coming through my hands at 10, 12 years old, because we used to get paid for the touchdown. You don't know that about the dope boys. They pay you for the touchdown. So just imagine the money you were making.
We got big man. We ain't getting no money. Y'all. I'm real old school.
That is the thing. You want to teach kids. When it comes to that financial literacy. I told my son when he was in high school taking classes, I seen on the schedule. I said, "That's the best class you ever took in high school." In my line, after that one, he's gonna do you well. They still don't teach him about credit and stuff like that. I taught my kids about stuff like that, because you want to start off bad, because I don't know about y'all, but I ain't never learned that when I was young.
Yeah, I
I ain't
think
found out
that's,
until it was already, credit was low, then I found out.
I think that's just our culture. Like,
Yeah.
our
You don't worry about it,
credit cards down there. Our credit was messed up. 10th
Oh,
grade.
you know it, all I say.
You got stuff in your name and you don't even know.
Your light bill, your phone bill, your cable bill, everything all that stuff. I see.
So we agree that like youth success does not always equate to any level of success. So let's make a valid effort to kind of install that in kids to keep that work ethic, because it is truly better to be greater later. You know what I'm saying? That late bloomer is that guy. The guy that you put in the side that you shine off that might get 1 or 2 touches right now, he's probably gonna be that guy at the end of the day, because he's gonna hit. He's gonna be greater later.
You can see it because they work harder, because you got to
feet too big right now.
Sometimes he ain't really comfortable. He awkward because he grew 3 inches in 2 months, so he's a little awkward still. But that fastest kid, in your mind, like he just faster than everybody anyway. Or the kid that's bigger than everybody, like he's just bigger than everybody right now. Like he ain't got it. He just people scared of him. That fades away, man. It's gonna disappear. But the guy who grinding, it's gonna be there.
All right, so we wrap that up with the being greater later. Coaches versus recruiting. And what I mean by that is, are we recruiting now at a youth level, or are we coaching? Like coaches versus recruiting meaning that, are you trying to get the best kids, or are you trying to develop the kids that are coming to you? You know what I'm saying? Like how that it's muddy right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's tough at the youth level, and I personally think you have it both ways. If you are a good coach, people are going to be
coming to you.
It does not matter.
Self-recruit.
Yeah, it does not matter. That speaks volumes for itself. If you are a good coach and you do things properly, the guys who aren't great coaches and who probably can't coach or get the type of kids, they are the ones who have to recruit. Now, we do live in a competitive world, so recruiting is
part of the game.
It's part of the game, but at the same time, being a good program, a good coach, that happens for itself. But again, as we talked about before, with the screen we have now, it's more broad now, so people can see it now. Back in the day when we started coaching, even when we had our chat, if you don't know who 007 is, you can't see him. You know what I mean? If you don't know this guy, I think he probably was the only one who used his real name, so you know who he is, but you can't see it.
Yeah. I ain't have
You can't
a
see
screen
it.
name.
But now you can see it. You can see kids. You can see different things. So the recruiting thing is very tough. Go back to what you said about the number 1 10-year-old, this and that. You see so much, and people attack that. They want that. Whether it's notoriety for your organization, whether it's notoriety for you, the recruiting is tough, and it's a dirty game too. At the same time, if you can't compete to what other teams are doing and what they got going on, but the coaching part for me and for things that I do, the coaching part matters. And I think a lot of coaches just have kids, because kids switch teams so much now. How can you build that? If the kid was on this team last year, that you can't coach that. So it's a tough game right now.
That's why I said I think it's more diversity than when we was talking about it before. You gotta have good coaches, but you got 7 people on staff, so you got 4 or 5 good coaches. You might have 2 of them just recruit. The team on it got to be a mixture of. You can't just have all the coaches and no one there. Like you ain't gonna have nobody to coach. You only got 12 people on your team. It is what it is. You gotta have some people that can bring the people there. You gotta have a little bit of everything. So I just think it's a mixture. I have to have good coaches.
Coaching to fill, recruiting to fill rosters.
No, I mean
Recruiting to get good players. That's 2 different things. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's still different in each situation though. Like some people just trying to get players. It's hard to get players in some areas, especially depends on who around you. It's hard to get players. And sometimes you get players, you're just trying to get certain ones you want. You're gonna bring that certain type of player. So it depends. Everybody in different situations. While I say you still need a diverse set of coaches either way on each level that can bring that. Cause some guys you like, man, that guy don't coach worth nothing. Everybody talking about you ain't coach. You talking about I know it. I know I don't coach, but I talk about I know it. That's what it is. You gotta know that. I mean, when I built my program, it's like that. You know what I mean? I got a diverse. I know some people lack in some categories, some don't lack in other categories. It is what it is, but I need a mixture of all of it. And then you'll build what you want to build like that.
I think when you get good coaches and you preach to them that you know, you're only as good as your second, third, fourth string. That builds your program and make your program big. You don't have to recruit.
He is this after that championship.
You know, I'm just saying.
You heard what he said. We don't have to recruit.
Just because, you know, people know the name, and, you know, I'm not from no big city. DeLand small. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, people know the name and they want to come play for the Dogs. That's why we always pumping the name, pumping the videos and stuff. So, you know, you get into that recruiting thing and you tell somebody to bring your son over here, he might not be that good. Now you gotta explain to that mama, that daddy, why he ain't getting it right. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what gets tricky.
That's what gets tricky. It's called selective recruiting.
Yeah,
that's why we don't agree.
It's tricky because that could backfire on you. If you had 30, now that mama and daddy who done got mad, 10 could go somewhere. Like it could work backfire on you too.
You gotta keep that core.
You could be that's shady with what you're doing.
I think our ultimate goal of any organization, we want to build a kid from 6 through. I think that's our goal. We don't want
The bouncing.
Yeah, you don't really want that. You want a kid that comes through your program from 6 and he stays with you. The loyalty, you want that. Loyalty to me is more than anything.
That core.
I care about my loyalty. You know, I have parents in my league that have been there since we began in 2002. I mean, 18 years ago. I still got parents that cycle through kids and grandkids now. You know, but I think with the competitive nature of Florida League, as you evolve, you gotta recruit to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actively recruit. I wouldn't say I go out there and say, hey, come play for me, but I let, like he said, we let our coaches, we let our organization speak for itself.
He give him a once over before he call you.
Yeah.
You gotta get an eye test first.
Yeah, we gotta get the eye test.
But see, that's what I mean. Like he said, he don't do that, but I know he don't. But some of his coaches,
My coach
do. That's why I say you always need a little bit of everything. You got a little bit of everything.
So what's saying that is, me and Josh are close. Even friendship, we become close, but we close. And we have that, but I think amongst men, I'm not gonna go try to take RJ guys.
Yeah.
As presidents, he said you gotta have your face clean with a lot of stuff you do. You can't be doing bad stuff.
Yeah, on the phone.
Now your coaches are wild; they don't care. They trying to win. And again, with this camera, we can see you got coaches inboxing 11-year-old kids. And that's bad. That can turn bad down the line too, man.
Don't talk to kids.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful with that type of stuff, man. When parents sending me screenshots of this coach, I'm like, man, 10. You know? So he don't know no better, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got guys.
You gonna say something?
I mean, like I said, I've been doing this since 1991 coaching. Civil League, no, sure though. Civil League, at the State League, we did Pop Warner, won that championship in every last one. Back then, it was done too. It was done the same way. What's going on now? It just opened.
It's just
more.
Let me help you.
Being, I try to, I'm about the kids, the passion. I think this is my destiny and purpose in life, to just help these kids. That's how I feel. Though I've been doing it so long. But it's true. I mean, I do a track club. Everybody come run for my track club. I own a track club around. 3 boys came over. They were fast as lightning. We trained them. We got them right. They built a great relationship, but they played for the State League. Now they with us 8 months out of the year running track. What do you think they want to play now?
Yeah, that fella was in love with the coach.
Right. So now
that's what it's all about, man.
And the parents like,
it's all about.
I like that league, but God, my son, you like this, you do this, you can coach, you did it. Now they want to slide this way, right? And it enhance the team. They bad, but then that team struggle. So what's going on right now? It always been this way since the 90s and 80s. It's just now it's just so open. It's open. Everyone is doing it.
It was more like what I can tell you about the structure of youth football back when I was playing. It was more neighborhood based, city based. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I fought a little bit of the high schools, because what happens is, when I grew up and I played youth league football, we played at the high school.
Well, that was
so now I grew up from 9 wanting to play at that high school.
That's all you knew.
So embedding that in them, and that itself goes back to your loyalty thing. Mm-hmm. Is like, yo, I want to be a Southeast Seminole. I can't wait to get here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think like the recruiting and the coaching has always been there, because guess what? Your product recruits for you,
Yeah.
and your coaches recruit for you, and then you got some other thing going on with the Facebook stuff. But if you're a great coach, if you're a good, solid coach, and the parents can relate to you. See, I never recruited a kid because the kid can't drive, the kid can't pay, and you gonna pay when you come.
Boom.
You ain't playing for free. I don't. No. We don't do that.
Days over.
Yeah.
That's free.
So,
Well, they writing checks now.
like I say, well, we won't be good. but like you, as a good coach, I can tell a parent what I can put into their kid. I can't promise you anything, and I tell people that when they get recruited by colleges, if he walks in your room and sits with your mom and dad and say he gonna start next year, you go ahead and scratch him off your list. I don't care if it's Florida State, Miami, whoever. He just lied to you.
Exactly.
He just lied to you. So he just selling you a pipe dream to get you there.
You and the other 24.
And that's the crazy thing about the youth level too. Like, I can recruit a kid and say, hey, when parents start talking about positions, I go numb because I don't really want to get into that engagement because I can't have that smoke on me, you know what I'm saying? When he ain't playing, he not producing, this kid is better than him, he can't read the playbook, he don't come to practice. Like, that stuff factors. So for me to say, hey, he gonna play, there's too many factors in that, you know what I'm saying? So me recruit him.
I don't run through that. I get into that. They say my son gonna start. I mean, he gonna play this position. I don't know. He gonna tell me. I want a boy to come. I don't know. It's up to him.
There are
He
some
gonna
kids.
tell me what's going on.
There
I
are
don't know
some
what's
kids.
happening.
Yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen. He the best one for that position.
but there's also kids that you know are gonna start. Like
I mean,
you know, but
I'm not telling him that though. You still,
No, they don't tell him that, but you know, saying you know. But as a kid, they come over and like, we played with this team last year. He can do this and he can catch.
We'll see this
Yeah,
shit.
so you gotta see, you know.
We'll see. I don't know who all on the team. We'll see.
Yeah,
That's what I told him.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me see
Let
if I can add this to that part right there. So let's see. I had that experience last year. And the kids came from a league, and they came over to my team. Not recruited. That's the great thing about it. They just came over. They just we switching league because their reason at the league, whatever it was, they came over. He made 4 touchdowns a game. Ain't about a league running 3-4 touchdowns a game. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
You would have stayed there. He came over. And boy, he ran into some bears, you know. A couple guys that I'm talking about, I'm like, boy, ain't no way in the world you gonna run past these guys here. It didn't happen, so I put him in another position and train him, coach him, work with him extra to help him to be great at that position because he wasn't better than other guys, right? So I'm thinking, oh my, we in trouble. He's not coming back next year. Oh no way. But other things that played a factor. Number one, he was struggling in school. So we tutored him twice a week.
Outlet for
That matters.
Number 3, bad home. Problem, I already got in trouble, picked him up. I went to the school, sat down with the teacher and the principal on Fridays, make sure he on point, seeing what's going on. So this kid don't run touchdown no more. He get 8 plays and pop 1 and then the mandatory plays. That's what he get. Threw him a ball here and there. Mama called and said, we'll be back, sign up. I said, yeah, but he didn't play last year. You said you wanted him to play. Said it was bigger than that.
Right.
So it's bigger than football.
That's something in that for me. So I had a group of kids that I coached. We talking about from 6 to. I was blessed with the group of parents I had. I was able to coach them from 6th to 10th grade. My son switched schools, and that's how he ended. But going into 9th grade, the parents were like, hey, you should coach. Been coaching all his life. But you sell yourself on that. The extra things you do, the certain things. It's not all about football sometimes. Parents, when they call you, text you, hey, he ain't did his homework, he don't put on the team. He ain't did. You gotta be that other outlet. You can't just be a coach that, hey man, I'm gonna give you advisor, this and that. And then nothing else happens with that. That's what happens with the recruiting.
That's a recruiting part.
Yeah, so
so
now you're getting this advisor, but this kid, he got to play 2 years of senior because he can't even go to 9th grade to play football.
Yeah, right.
Now the kid done, you don't talk to him no more. You know what I'm saying?
You used it like I almost felt like you used the kid.
Yeah, you know. That's what's missing in that.
A lot
man.
of this recruiting stuff go to the parents' heads too. My
Yeah.
kids got options.
Yeah.
I tell them bye.
Yeah.
This ain't college. What you want me to give you a car? I'm giving you nothing.
Yeah, I can't. Ain't nothing I can do.
Listen,
Right.
man.
And they go back to that image and being authentic. A lot of people leave for recruiting because of the image. It looks good. They say them video look good. That man pulled off.
Oh, we good.
Dog, I be
continue now.
I be liking. I'm like, whoo, nice video because it looked good, and but the program.
But that's
the marketing part of it, of recruiting part.
But the question is,
but
the question is you backing up the image and making it authentic. That's the key.
Unfortunately, that happens. Week 12, they don't find out. They stay in that now. You done paid. Now they gotta go. It's late, but that whole time that they're there, you talking to Tony, man. You know, and he hit it on the head too. The parents are probably the worst part of it. Now.
Right.
I got parents. We ain't paid for 3 years over here, but
well, you gonna pay over here?
you know what I'm saying? You got parents that are like that. As we see the frustration of this past weekend, I had a parent hit me. She's like, I ain't mad. I ain't paid for it anyway. How you bought the 470 or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like people are getting to that way, and when you're finding that out, like the free used to be for hardship. Kid that don't got it,
they got it.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy.
Like,
and I remember one time me and Josh was talking on the phone. We just talked frequently. And Josh said, "Man, I'm paying Cardinals." I'm like, "Bro, I can't afford that on Cardinal." You know, it's crazy. And the recruiting, I can't. That's a dirty game, man. If you are playing that way, it's a tough way because if it don't last, if you don't win, no parents are going to the next team to win.
That's just for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment, and that's what's happening too.
It's
You see kids on 3-4 teams in 4 years. Going back to what you said about the environment, I think rivalries out the door. How can a kid that played for him, and him, know
You on the other side of the
rivalry?
I'm on the other
How do you know that? You know, when you have older teams for 4-5 years.
And you crunk up, you over. And this might be a whole nother topic. I don't know, but think about this: a kid that's hopping from program to program to program. What is he learning? What is he building? Do he know foundation? Let them tell you what they always say. If they hopping from youth to youth, when they get to high school, they hopping, and here come the college saying, "Well, hold up now, maybe." You know, unless he just that dog. They say that grade is working. Do they really want that guy? They're afraid he might leave. Transfer portal is open, but in their mind, it's the same thing. Let me tell you what a coach always told me when my son committed to Notre Dame. He called me. He said, Georgia Tech and Ole Miss and South Carolina is here. Want to see Low Wood. But I told him they can't see him. I said, why? He said he committed to Notre Dame. So if he goes talk to these schools, let you hear this phrase now, and I might open up some worms on this one. He said if he committed to Notre Dame, and he go talk and visit these schools, they're like cheating on his wife.
That's how they look at it too.
That's what he said.
You don't talk like
So
coach, and they look at it like that too. It's a kid that might have transferred, and they're gonna ask him, why you don't go here no more? They might ask you about a kid that don't even go to your school no more, and they want to know why did he leave? What's the problem? Why is he here? What's going on?
So I think I'm gonna say something about the marketing aspect of it. Like, it's a difference in marketing your brand and recruiting. It's a difference.
I agree.
It's like with your videos, the videos you put out is about your brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm gonna educate y'all about us.
Right, and that's why I said I love it. And I like it. And I watch. I watch this a lot. And I think it's great for your brand. I love the program. I see the camps you do. You bring the NFL guys back, and I see all the mentorship. I like it.
Got some videos already.
But like you say, your program sells itself, but at the same time, some parents. You gotta understand, we assume that all parents, thinking like that. Some parents just ain't that smart though either. They just doing like first thing they gonna do. Like they just kind of jumping on like what everybody else kind of jumping on sometimes. They don't even understand, they don't even care about it. They might not even come to the game. But they want to have control of, the kid June, July. But then August, they don't even come to the games, but they want to be, Johnny playing here. Johnny going there.
I had a kid like that in high school listening to his uncle.
Yeah, just listening to
people.
Full
ride to South Florida. Uncle was like, why you committed that? It's early. He decommitted. Now he ain't got nowhere to go.
Wow.
Your uncle's in the military. I tell him all the time, why you listening to people ain't never been in a situation you're trying to be in?
Man, right now.
That coaching and recruiting is the same. It go 50-50. Catch 22, coaching and recruiting. You got good coaches, you got people that can recruit, and that's what it is. That's the society we in. That's the society we live in. It's gonna always be that way. You're gonna coach, you're gonna recruit.
No.
Coaching matters. Me and my guy coach for years, and we talk all the time, man. How did we beat this team? This team got way more. We go to book check, and we like, and we're looking at and we're like, man, but we prepare. We prepare. It does not matter. We prepare, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't need to have this kid. We prepare with what we got, and you just be prepared. But sometimes we come out like that coach can't coach. Because if I had those 12 guys, they're skilled,
Yeah,
we would
so
beat
easy.
us. You know what I'm
It's so
saying? So
easy.
a lot of these guys.
You talking about D-line senior
Just in general,
In general.
I will say this though. Okay, live. We didn't want to play y'all again. So
I
you
know
know,
that.
you got but that's coaching.
I know,
It's
I
just
know.
a smart level.
And I would've did the
It was the
same
same
thing.
thing. It was more of.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It was more of, do we want to play this dude here that's throwing the ball? We know our weakness was our back four, whatever. Or do we want to play this team that's running the ball? So I don't want to take a chance because this man, like in youth football, you go one-on-one, then he come down with the ball.
Take mine.
Man,
I gotta catch one.
That's matchup.
So it's about
That's
matchup. So
what
again,
I'm
it's about
saying.
coaching. And I was like, you
What
know
up?
what? Had y'all would have won the first time,
Yeah.
it was different. So when I seen that, I was like, we got the bye. Then we lost the bye. I said, oh,
Yeah.
so you know what? I'm like, you had the bye, and I'm like, oh man. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to ask my coaches, do y'all want to play D-line? They throwing the ball or not? No.
We had a
Not.
discussion in the playoffs too. We were at the playoff game and it was a game-changing play. And I'm like, that worked out to me. For me, I would rather play this team than that team all day. You know, one team was a grinded out, run right at us. So I wasn't gonna stop it. Another team was a finesse trying to throw it. I was like, we could stop them with what we had. It was a matchup.
It's about matchups, it's about coaching. So if you're a good coach and you don't need, basically what we're talking about is the other stuff that goes on around
Right.
it. Because you got to build that solid foundation. Once you're solid,
Yeah, everything
and
else
what
is
you guys
extra
do,
on
you
the
don't
side.
have, you know, you have
Because it's
that.
coaching is X and O's.
Everything
So,
else is
so
extra.
I'm gonna tell you who recruited when we was growing up. Whoever had that truck and was coming through the neighborhood, he was a recruiter.
Yeah, who gonna pick you up?
At the same time, I think even with that though, I think that's ruined it a little bit. What I see now is less parent involvement because coaches pick.
Oh, I
The
agree.
kids don't be doing no, man.
No, it does not matter, man.
They don't even
I
understand
watch it
what's
every
going
day. I
on.
watch. Me and Josh talk at their game. We need change, and I see Josh. He telling me how things change. Like you have those talks, people just don't get involved. When you have that type of recruiting, and the parent don't come, it hurts a lot of stuff.
And I think there's less involvement with dads because I have
Yes.
parents. I'd be like, how do you even let this grown man come up to your son and talk to him?
Yeah.
Like nobody's finna talk to my kids about what school they going to,
Yeah.
or you know what they doing. Like where the daddy at? You
Yeah,
know.
man,
And then
That's how I
your
think
that's a big part,
mom's
too.
just not really knowledgeable of what's
That's a
going
big
on.
part.
You saying if you saying you gonna do this and it sound good to her,
She good.
she
3 days a
jumping
week.
with
That's
it.
2 hours. She ain't got to go nowhere. You know what I'm
But,
saying?
but we got some fathers which I'm very proud of that are engaged. Like
No, you
like
do.
they are
You have
truly engaged, and we just need to keep that momentum going because I think in one of the sessions before, Rich was talking about that he coaches 6U, and this is the most fathers he'd ever seen.
Is it like that
See
with us?
now,
Like that.
see now, I'm gonna tell you that would have been the issue with me as well growing up. My grandfather wasn't coming to see me play flag because he's saying that ain't football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was luckily introduced to football as it was played. You know, with 11 men, tackle, full go. We never played flag. So now that our programs are 6U tackle, then now you could, more dads are probably coming out. Cause my grandfather wouldn't have been coming out to the game of flag. And that just
Yeah, because
been real.
before it was the freshman level there. The dads was out now.
It's both ways because when you have dads that are involved and your kid good, the camera on the dad too. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of this stuff that come out. And dads are involved because their kid good. If the kid could be on the team, you don't see the daddy at all, but he don't play. You know what I'm saying? I think when you see the good kids, the dad is really there because he making sure he get there because his kid getting the clout. The kid getting the clout too.
No, you can't make that assumption though, because like if I'm there and my son's not good, I'm still there. You just don't know me.
That's why I say I think
You just don't know me. But now my son's good, and I'm there. But I've been here the whole time, and he becomes greater later. And now you say, oh, he came out the woodwork. Nah, I've been here the whole time. Yeah.
There is a flip to that though. How many times have you seen the kid that became great and you never seen the father, and then all of a sudden now he's great and the father's there?
That's what Lee called Saturday.
But remember too, now, in this society, like I say, remember I go way back, so I can kind of got see best. But back then and now, the dads that have 6-year-old, they're a little younger. You think about it.
Yeah.
So they kind of, they there now. You know, 26, my little jit, you know, my jit, you know, they old school, even say that word now, my little whatever.
Yeah.
So they kind of around a little bit more because he's sick and dad 26, dad 22, some of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My babies are 17, 18, 19, so they 24, 25, they got that little man, you know what I mean? So that's a little different too now they were 6-year-old.
And I think when we talk about single moms, right? They aren't educated in the sport. So you can promise her the world, right? And I'm gonna promise her what I can do for her child. Now she has to make the decision which promise is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna speak about, look, I'm gonna develop him, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be in his corner, I'm gonna support him. But I know the rent. Like, but even with some dads, it's like, what y'all can do for me. But you ain't.
Nothing.
A program asked that about coming over to the league. What y'all can do for us? You lacking competition. We got that. So, you know, we helping you.
I think also too, in different communities it matters too. I know in our neighborhood, some of the moms don't work. The dads work. So what we see in our neighborhood is just the moms bring the kids to practice. Because dad is working. He's away. They the VIP of this, CEO of this, you know, and they come when practice is closing. But you see a different side too. You know, for us, we just see it on the flip side of people maybe being successful, so they can't be around. So sometimes that happens too on the dad side. But the moms are there. They just drink the Kool-Aid sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Or they know if it's sour or good. They don't know until they get the test on the field, you know, something like that. Now she mad, and then now this day and age it backfired me because this phone work.
Yeah.
And you could be getting sold out. You coaching the game, don't even know it. And it's
Wow,
wild.
told 10 people.
Yes, sir.
So there's a thin line. That's what I got from this. There's a thin line between coaching, recruiting, and marketing.
Yes.
See, marketing, we're just giving our program success, the structure of our program, our logo. We're giving that visibility to the people who may not know. Recruiting, you and everybody DM. You know what they call DM?
You know. Gotta make fun.
You DMing everybody on the low, you know what I'm saying? And coaching, like, it's just basically like, here's my credentials, here's what I'm about, here's my philosophy. If he's that guy, he'll earn his keep. And see, a lot of people don't want to test the waters with if he's that guy.
They want you to tell them he's that guy.
He's that guy, and I ain't seen him. And I ain't seen him in this situation. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of parents too, from the recruiting aspect, is you can be the best coach in the world. If you ain't getting them W's, it don't matter to these parents right now because they gotta do what to their baby when they win. They gotta post the win because they don't post the lose, the losses. So if you losing, it don't matter how good of a coach you are because you ain't winning. So that's the one toughest part of that is, and that's the number one part of recruiting now at this level. I was talking to Reggie, like, back then I didn't know the other coach, the team, the kids, or nothing. But it was a sin to even post film some days back then. Now it's everywhere. You got to buy that, you know, or somebody, you know, who you like. You got to meet somebody for that, you know.
I was in Miami.
You got to drive far, you know, on Sunday you drive far. Don't get taped, man.
Go ahead.
I know there's one thing is what I would say was like, you talk about the W's, talk about the coaching, talk about the recruiting, talk about everything, right? So you go, let's say you have that year, okay, you go 10-2, you win it, go to the championship.
He got that 1 year. Go ahead.
So you go 10-2, you win it. You know, your Monday, and then I'm trying to see why kids leave, okay? So I'm just saying, maybe this with me. You 10-2, you go to the championship, you win it. You go to Disney. I know.
Yeah.
You lost against a team that was undefeated or beaten everybody by 30 all year. And we lost to them in the fourth quarter. So they play your second game, semi, boom, beat the team, you the semi-champ. You get third. Okay? Good year?
Yeah.
It's a good year?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Okay. They give you a trophy, give you a plaque, you on TV, your game play on the Disney Network. You know, kids got shirts, they got medals, they did good. You know, you went to a fun spot afterwards, you did everything right. Monday, you do tutor. On Monday, then you practice. Tuesday, you just go practice. Wednesday, you do tutor, then you bring in a guy for mentorship just to talk to them, speak to them, and everything. Then when they leave, the parents come in on Wednesday night, and you talk to them about fundraising, job opportunity, career, different school. That's schedule. Thursday, you practice, you watch film again, close up what you did. Saturday, you go play, you bang somebody in the head, slaughter, 28-0, 38-0, we win. Off season, you train it. I ain't trying to knock it now. Pretty good what I do. Training you all season. January to August, I train you 3 days a week for free. 2 hours with Michigan Mike Jones, with Drico UCF.
And they take their
NFL
talents
guys
out.
training. I got Trish McCann and Aaron Jones. Every trainer you got out here come from that brand. I got them right there. 3 days a week training, 2 hours a day. Then you have camps for them, set them up. Then you do individual position training, speed training, agility training for January to August 1st. That's your season.
And then you see that poster I see on the Panther, man.
Then all of a sudden you call, say, hey, I want to go with this program and this program. I want to be in FPU. I want to be in this. I get you invite. I do this. I do FPU. I put this in your life. You want to do this camp, I put you in the camp 707. We got you 707. We travel to colleges, sit to tours. We do everything in your family. Pick you up sometime you need that ride. Help you out, you might be short of the money, no problem, pay us later. Fundraiser, sponsor, somebody sponsor you. This 8 months, this your season. Then next year, we ain't coming back.
What's his name, Josh?
At the same time,
So what is, not knocking nobody recruiting.
I know.
Forget the recruiting, I'm not talking about recruiting. What I'm saying is, what goes
It's
through
loyalty
your
on
mind?
That's what I'm saying. There was
Because
a lot of them ain't knowledgeable.
it ain't got nothing to do with John, it ain't got nothing to do with nobody.
Why I say they don't care nothing
They
about
just
that.
don't care them, and that's my point.
They don't know, man.
Parents
They
don't
They
care
don't
about
care
that.
about
No,
they don't care.
So that's a
We're gonna talk
you know what?
about
That's a whole different
Got a lot of
topic.
kids that's trying to go to
And
the
that's gonna
parents.
be the next topic. So we agree recruiting, marketing, and coaching all have different phases, and all of them have a place in our game that helps our programs grow. All right. So on to the next one. Gotcha. Let's talk about parent loyalty.
That's
Tired of
It
hearing
is done.
in the last series. One thing I caught from when you broke down that I tell people all the time. You use that word free. Once you allow somebody to do anything for free, they have to invest in
They
nothing.
invest in their time. Value to their service.
They can walk the outside real quick and say, you know what?
Yeah.
He might have beat me, but he played for free, so he can go here. He don't know. It does not matter. They know nothing.
That's
So
like
they invest nothing.
in DeLand, there's 3 leagues. There's us and there's 2 other leagues that we really don't speak of. They come in and they They come in and they tell the parents, hey, bring your son over here, it's free. And then the son be successful or whatever, then they pump their son. And I'm preaching like, at the end of the day, that's one of our kids. He from our hood. The mama just not that bright, and you told her free, so she went over there. But at the end of the day, he from the hood. He from the same hood we in. We see him every day. That's our kid. You want to take that credit, that's fine, but we know where he from. So that's crazy, man.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like the parent loyalty, and it's tough in our day and age. Like I said, it's microwave success. It has to happen now.
Yeah.
If it's not happening now, then we as parents have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see the multiple. He playing for multiple teams, multiple years. He's never sat still for 2-3 years and went through the process. But in high school, that will become the same because that's all he knows.
And when he moving like that, he might not even develop like he's supposed to. He's trying to win a championship, but like he ain't developing at all. You just trying to win, like but you ain't developing. And then, like you said, later on when it really matters, you ain't where you supposed to be, and people don't caught up with you.
And we had a parent like that. You want to put your son in the best situation to make him shine, to make him look good. What's that teaching them? You running them away from these dogs, but when you get to high school, when you got to face these dogs, you don't know what to do.
Iron sharpens iron.
Right.
You know what
You
I'm
don't
saying?
know what to do.
But it's the loyalty side of it, the parents. I even do, you have to do extra. I hate to say you gotta do things that, but the parents, like, not, you gotta, I try to get involved, like, hey, we're gonna have parent day. And we're gonna have, like I said, when I'm trying to, I had career days, like parents didn't have jobs, who need help? That is me anyway. I'm not doing it for the kid, I've been doing this all my life, but it's crazy, you know, even with the parents.
It's hard to do it when they ain't loyal.
And then I can show you texts where they're like, hey, you know what, God Almighty, best year of his life. I said, really? Yeah, he learned this, he did this, he said this, coach of life, he loved you, all this stuff. Then I said, well, no, we're gonna go in that direction. I'm like, best year of his life.
The second best.
And that's what you get. You know what? But what we have to do is say, if they don't want to be part of you, you want to go with something, you let them go. Now I will say, the only way, I don't bash them. I mean, I come back. I wish you the best. I got so much going on. I love you part of what we're doing. Just let me know anything we can do. I wish you the well. Tell me good job, good luck, whatever. Hey, come on training. That's kind of conversation. I can screenshot and show you. But sometimes that is one exception for me. Is because there's some kids that need what you have to offer, and it's sometimes hard to give them that if they're gone.
Yeah, the coach don't care about you. So when you go, he only got you for now. And I ain't have to work to get you. You just came over and wanted to be on the team, and I ain't have to work to get you. I don't really care. I care about the ones you work to get and being groomed, but the one that just.
And then when they leave, I do ask them. You know, I will ask them.
Exit interview.
Yes.
Why you leaving?
And I, you know,
What happened?
Approval for the next person to come.
God, man, I like
ask
that.
them stuff like that, but like I said, some parents you can look at them. And me, I can tell over the years. Like when I see somebody I know. Like we have some people been with us since the beginning. Like I said, they got a kid that just graduated high school, now they got another baby, and they just staying with us. You know what I mean? They've been with us for the longest. It's just like our people like kind of stay with us. They don't like really move like that. And the ones that do move, I know they're gonna move. They ain't gonna be another team either the next year after that. And I know they have. And you just look at them, you know, that's the person that's not gonna be anywhere long.
You see them.
That's what it is.
You see them moving. You say, "Oh, I must be over here on the clock."
Yeah, because they come right around here. That's how it works. But some of them, they're going to be there and they're going to always be there.
I knew it was bad last season. Cause some of us are probably years ahead of it, but I know it was bad last season when all I saw on Facebook was top programs complaining about kids being loyal. How can you be the top program when you're mad? You're doing the same thing everybody else doing. I see top programs, coaches mentioning loyalty, and I'm like, bro, you can't even be in that conversation because your program, your team has been a part of that, but now since so-and-so left to go to another team, now, you know what I'm saying? Now ain't no loyalty no more, but you've been benefiting from the non-loyalty, you know what I'm saying? So you see that a lot too.
Things you turn around, you gotta be loyal.
I love when one of the most rewarding things for me is when a parent does leave. And then the grass ain't greener on the other side. And they come back. And they have to show faces. And you're like, oh, so what happened?
How you control the game? How you control the game?
I allow them to come back.
That will come back,
Like, man, why you let them come back? At the end of the day, it's for the kids.
Amen.
But for two, just to look at their face.
Especially when they going younger, they older than when they 9, he come back when they 10.
It is hard too, man. Like, you know, when you really want that kid to stay, you know, it's hard not to, you know, but say, hey, come on, man, what are you doing? It's hard. I mean, and you really want that kid to be there. Whether they the best kid or they the okay kid.
It's like coaching that kid.
That's the thing that really hurts is that if you're a good coach and you're a good guy and you're truly invested in the kid, and you're gonna still deal with the kid when he goes elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
But it's the point of if he's in my house, I can really give him everything. Like you said, it's hard to do for him when he's not here because I don't know what void he's missing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what void I need to fill. So, but if he's here with me day in, day out, he like Coach B too. See, the dad wants that instant success where I'm saying like, yo, it's coming. It's coming. So the kids actually trust the process a lot more sometimes than the parent. You know what I'm saying?
They love the relationships we build.
Yeah.
I think the kids love it. The parents are just, like you said, the instant success type stuff, and the kids want to be there. A lot of times the kids leave and they don't want to leave. Yeah, that happens every year.
And 9 times out of 10, the parent ain't got an athletic bone in their body.
But that comes from a lot of the stuff you see them dads on the side by the gates. and they complain. It becomes that, man. And these guys I got a kid that I coached, low coach for 2. He in the 5 different youth programs, 4 different high school back. Like you can't, and that starts with the youth. And now since you're not happy here, this is not getting carried, you go to the next school. That hurts the kid because now his whole life he don't know how to endure the hard work and adversity and things that come up with that, because this is not only just football. I know for all those football men, this is what you are today and work hard. So the kids, if you don't have to like go to work, I want to quit. They just can't quit a job. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. You got to stay in there, endure what you don't like until you find something better. But the kids don't sign no paper. They don't pay no money. Let the parents keep telling the kids want to play somewhere else and all that. It doesn't work that way. The parents are the ones signing that paper.
Don't tell me
That's like transitioning.
You can make it 9.
Transitioning from youth football to high school. You want your son to be in the 9th grade and just kill varsity.
That mean your high school.
Listen, whatever happened to JV freshmen just grinding it out? And then you get these kids transferred, like you say, they go to 4 different schools in 4 years.
College recruit can't even find.
Right, you said right.
Talk about it being I know you see it at high school level, high school coaches. We see a lot less kids playing too because they can't post and shine. It's all about that. So if these kids ain't playing, they don't want to be on that. It's a stigma of being on varsity. It does not matter right now. They got the post Friday night. So if they're not playing, the kids won't even play no more. And that's the sad part about it.
I have to tell parents like, hey man, I know y'all play for the Dogs and you can kind of say little stuff, but this high school, we don't give a damn about you in high school. If you want to take them somewhere else, go. If you in the winning programs, we get kids transferring every year. If you want him to play right now and be the man at 9th grade, like you might as well take him to a D1.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go low. But that's crazy because it goes back to being greater later, right? If my son walks in your high school and he's a running back, right? And we're coming from a youth league program. He's 155 pounds, decent size, not huge. His body itself is not ready for 20 carries with 1,000 pounds getting up every play off of him. So he's gonna have these little nagging injuries all the way because his package is too big for his body right now. He should have a package for him if he's on the 9th grade. Another thing, if he's the guy in 9th grade and he's not that dude, your high school really ain't that good. So I'm gonna be looking to transfer him anyway.
I got my son, my freshman, I thought he just the man in youth football. He destroyed everything. He's 6'2", 252.
What position?
D-top. He had Edgewater. Freshman. You heard I told you, 6'2", 252, right? Now in the 9th grade. This year's the 9th grade. And I'm looking at him like he bigger than Deion Green, a lot of them boys. I said, boy, I looked at him and the coach talking about, he playing freshman. I'm like, yes, he is playing freshman. You had Edgewater. He been lined up at 6'2", 252. Now, we could have went to Center for the Christian Academy.
And killed.
Lined up and we got all varsity film, we all American. But what did that do for me for a team that got 12
iron sharpened iron. Like, your game in the 9th grade, if you're not playing, just say you're on the varsity, right? Your game should be in practice. Keep your stats in practice. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta say longevity is the key to success too. So that 9th grader who ain't ready, body ain't developed yet, and he keeps breaking down, now he's not getting the reps that he needs to start developing because he's in the training room all the damn time. So as a coach, you like, you know what? And that guy who you way better than, while you in the training room, he playing JV. And he getting reps. And it just starts sliding.
But
So
a lot of them kids, I think they willing to do that, but like I said, sometimes it's the parents, man. The people they listen to, the dude on the fence, probably $10 when they score a touchdown, them saying in their ear.
And you should be playing.
Yeah, man, you should be playing. So they get in their ear like, I do need to be playing. I mean, so I sometimes think of the house because they don't. People ain't been down the path that they really can't teach them. Like you said, somebody had this man decommit, and did he end up going to college anyway?
Not where he's supposed to go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he just changed his man whole future, man. You don't know what's gonna happen now. He just and that I see that happen a lot, man. I always hate it, man.
Listening to
you don't know how it is to go through the process of going to from youth league to high school, then high school to college. You don't understand that process. Man, don't even say nothing, man. College is the root of the game right now. Like
listening to family members who barely passed high school.
Yeah, man,
How
you
he
can't
gonna
do that, man. It's a dirty game out there. You got in college recruiting that it's different, man. Like you gotta understand it and been went through it, or you can't You don't need to give nobody no advice, man.
Hey,
I tell you, I mean, so my dad was, we were talking about the kid transfer school to school to school. I think we were on the same page, same kid. I don't know. But I got a kid that went to 4 schools.
Hey, don't say the name because
I got a kid that went to 4 schools.
High school?
He went to 4. This is the 4th one. You know what's so crazy about it? The kids that transferred the most, they're the one that got the most bad attitude, bad character, bad grades.
They run, but they run it a lot of times.
They run.
They don't want it.
They can't adapt.
It's always the coach call or something.
They can't adapt. If I'm not the man right now, I'm gonna go over here. Now your grades from here. Now you gotta go over here try to get their system. Then you go over here, gotta get their system. Now I gotta go and get this system. Guess what's falling behind? The grades.
And that's where the talent starts flatlining too, because your talent has gotten you to this point. Now your work ethic needs to kick in,
Right.
but you don't have that.
Never had it.
And now you just running from the work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not developing that aspect of it. And it has to, work ethic is the biggest thing. Like, you can go to college off just pure talent.
Some can.
But when you get there and you ain't working,
Everybody
That's
got talent.
everybody- that's every city's
Everybody got talent when you
You know what I'm
get
saying?
there.
Like, if you the top ESPN top 100, you up there. I ain't gonna say 300. You can do whatever. You
But a lot of
you
guys-
transfer in high schools, but they want you, they gonna get you. But I say that's only like 1% of the people. Most kids go to college, don't lie there. I mean, them colleges coaches, like you see, they come to school, they got the librarian, the cafeteria. How is this kid? What kind of kid is this kid? You be like, huh? They will go and ask everybody about character because they ain't trying to do with ESPN. They see all that stuff, especially all that back a few years ago, Ray Rice. Oh, they were real selective who kid they gonna pick. And then if you ain't, you change the school, oh, this kid's a troublemaker. Oh, he's sitting in the best classroom, have the earbuds on, man. That matters, man. They pay attention.
You remember
to
the
that
cornerback of Zach Gator? Got in trouble real bad. Went to North Florida. I went to University of North Florida with the Bowden. He was real good cornerback. It wasn't Nelson. He got drafted, went like 3rd, 4th round. He was at the Gators, but he got a real bad trouble. It wasn't Nelson, it was Jenkins.
stuff. Oh, Janoris. He went North Alabama.
North Alabama, right?
Yeah,
Bowden was there, right? And I knew Bowden kids, Terry Bowden kids, go to Edgewater High School. Okay. And remember, he ended up getting a job at Akron. So I had like a relationship with him. So I'm sitting out talking to him for lunch, and he said, "Remember Jenkins?" Yeah, he said, "That kid, that boy, he was different. He was something. He was a special kid. He was out. He was great, but he had some little situation issues. But he was a good player." He said when he got ready to go to NFL, the NFL went to his middle school.
character.
Tell me, man.
Question
Middle,
is,
but they said in the middle school he's a good kid. He said that kind of was a good thing for him because sometimes kids get changed as they get older because the environment they live in, who they around, middle school. They went back to middle school to ask how was this kid in middle school.
And that's what, like, we have our hand on their pulse though. You feel me? We have a lot, like you said, you go to the school, you talk to the, so now we have to entrench that in them as well. Like, look, man, high school, college is not just about them last 2 years of high school. Like, they could go far back in 7th grade. So, like, just knowing what's going on in their life and trying to help them get through those rough things. My thing is always, and you done heard me say it before, is like, I just don't want you to make the same mistakes we made. Make new mistakes, and as a family, we get through it together. You know what I'm saying? But don't continue to do the same cycle over and over and over, because now we not doing what we supposed to be doing. And
that's,
said,
I have a freshman at University of Florida. He went there over the summer, like on a Friday. He wanted to come home on Monday. I had to make an hour and 45 trip up there to talk to him. And he talking about transferring. Oh, this ain't like it was supposed to be. The coach is this, coach is that. I said, listen, the problem is when you was in high school, everybody told you was the GOAT. You ain't nobody. When you come from youth league to high school, you got to make your name. You start over. When you go to high school to college, you starting over. I basically told him, man, you're a shit eater right now. So you have to start over. You got to make your name. You're a freshman. You going up against guys that's getting ready to go to the league, that's trying to feed their family, and they've been in Florida 3 or 4 years. But you thought you was going to come up here and kill? That's not going to happen.
You going to get grown men.
Yeah, you gotta go through the process.
Wives and children.
they don't realize that. These kids don't realize that every city has one of them.
what is that?
And now they all together.
So when you go into these big time programs like a Florida, that's the best kid from every city.
Yeah,
that you're playing with now.
Together.
They don't get that.
Why they win?
But he the best. He the best kid for that city. 3 years in the weight room.
You know what it is.
Right, and all this. Like
Everybody telling you this, man. You finna go to Florida. You finna go kill. No, man. You up there with grown men.
He's in the same spot that
You didn't go to no D2, D3. You went to baby NFL. Like you make your hair, you go.
I think the crazy thing for me when I coach these kids
Exactly who you talking about.
is to see their transition of their body from freshman year of college to senior year. It's ridiculous when you see a kid transition. Like you said, freshman, physically you're not ready, obviously. By senior year, these kids are in the weight room. Like the kid I have, for example, I got to go down there and see him. He plays at FAU, and he's a running back down there. And he left school, and I went down there like, you're fat now. Like he actually had to they bulked him up, so he turned fat. But now his fat is actually turning into
muscle mass.
Because they bulked him up quick. Turn him into
quick 18 pounds.
That freshman,
what
they call him.
all right.
Oh yeah.
He grind. If they adapt to it.
So what happens is like it's just a new process for them. Like, you know, a lot of kids can actually play at college level as a freshman, but the school wants to get them to where they're ready.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So they use that extra year when they get red-shirted or whatever to put them in a real life program.
Right.
Meaning, you was the strongest at your high school, but here you see the rack is like this. You know.
You know you ain't been training and working like you're supposed to when you went there, so that's a big difference too.
I tell them college coaches, when it comes to that red shirt,
And it's their job.
They say it like this. They like, you think you'll be a better player your 5th year or your 1st year? And that's how they look at it. They say you was a player your 5th year. What you think you'll do in physical pattern your 1st year? And then I was saying, I'll be older.
And they looking at their roster though.
Yeah.
If I'm 2-3 deep at your position,
Yeah.
why am I waste that year? You see, it becomes a numbers game too. Like I got 3D tackles, 4D tackles, and they all juniors and seniors. Why am I just let you play, and you're not gonna play significant reps?
Yeah.
And I'm wasting a year on you.
They
So
take that stigma. I think the kids that red shirt is like I'm not
ready to play now.
In his own freshman, he plays a freshman back home. They embarrassed for the people back home. Hey, you ain't on the field. I've been looking for you on the field. Man, I'm a freshman.
I'm working.
Yes.
I'm trying to get adjusted to this college classes right now.
Or until they get them when you line up against Michigan, you run down on a punt,
And get your head.
and you up bump the guy. Now
How many do you think?
and now you the gunner, freshman. You ran out, guy began to get the ball.
Yeah, they touching
He
got another halo.
Right. And guess what happened? You put Michigan up.
You redshirt yourself.
That's Michigan State. So now Michigan State get a first down. Then they get stopped. 4th down, trick play, gotcha. Notre Dame loses.
Right.
You came out the field. Yo, what you told me? I knew I should have played as a freshman.
Hey,
You ain't ready mentally.
you redshirt
You ain't
yourself
ready.
with that.
You red shirt. You may have that next year to get ready.
Season over, bro.
It happens.
Cause that's their job though. Like
Yeah, I was saying,
you know what I'm saying? That's their job.
People got to realize that's
So
their job.
that loyalty conversation with the parents roll right over to the loyalty on the college level. Like, yo, if you're not willing to be loyal to the program and trust the process, you here to do just that. Now, if you want to bounce around from college to college, guess what? You only got 2 moves. Better make your next move the best move.
Yes, move.
You see that now with the portal. That's why you
The portal
it's
going
the same thing.
the portal
Same
going.
thing is the
They success stories.
one way or different.
You know how many people don't transfer and just got dead? They just I done jumped in the portal and then tell me the portal had a drain. You don't know about it no more.
I don't jump out of it though. Like they just internet and see we know what interest they get. But
Ain't
some
get
of them.
nobody
I mean, I think the portal was a good thing. The reason I say that because I think they should at least have the opportunity they
The
want.
portal was a
Because college
great
coaches
thing.
do it all the time. Like you'll be on recruiting you on the phone, and
But listen,
I was at Ball State next year here, Arizona State. I'm about to tell kids never turn around a coach and hit you up. I don't care if you got
Right,
a
to make
state
your
offer.
program
Don't look at that Akron coach and look no different because he's
That's
gonna
right.
be somewhere else
Tell
later
them.
on, and you ain't gonna realize that. He's
the
gonna be at Michigan
portal-
State next year, and you're gonna be like, damn.
the portal was a great thing because back in the day, you only had power one time as
Yeah,
a kid.
man, that's
That
it.
was on signing day.
And you had to make it.
And now they had to release you.
Yeah.
If you wanted to transfer,
Like a release.
they had to sign off on you. If they didn't want to sign off on you,
You can't even
you
have
was
a-
just
You had to make a decision in your life at
How many times
17.
you done went to that
Yeah.
college, that program, and in 2 years, and that coach gone?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gone, man.
And you're like, well, I didn't sign up for
I
this.
came for the system.
Exactly.
He been sat in my living room, now he gone. You know what I mean? Like, he sat in my living room.
They came in with a wing teeth, and all the other new coach came in as an eye.
That happens at the high school level too. People look at kids for transferring, but if that don't fit, why stay there? If what you do makes you great, and they don't fit,
You gotta go.
you gotta go. Those are good moves. Now you have the bad ones, but those are good moves because you can't get stuck in a situation where you can't show your talent too. So
Yeah.
you have to be able to make sure
And-
that
and-
fits you.
Best for the-
You know,
And I like that they can control the narrative in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's a job. So why work a job that you're not happy at? You feel me? Because us as adults do that. Some of us as adults, we
Yeah.
wake up like, damn, that don't work. You know what I'm saying? So that's their job. So now we saying like, look, you have a job, but guess what? You can also transfer and try this other job out, but you got to know its pros and cons with that too.
Yeah.
You better read their roster. You better, you know what I'm saying? You better know you finna go in there and really be up, ready to play.
You're just the ones that abuse.
Yeah.
Like I said, someone, you know, it's good to have that option, but some people they just look at it.
I think they should put everybody in the portal when your coach leaves.
Yeah.
You should be allowed.
I think everybody should.
Immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody
If it's
should.
a head coach or OC or DC, like I really think so too.
Because a lot of times kids are signing up for that.
Assistant coach,
That coach, that offense.
Because we're talking about loyalty.
Yeah.
The head coach ain't come to me. You came in my living room with my parents.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel me? You recruited me. I
So
fell in
the
love
program
with
you
you,
didn't have no
and
more.
now you gone.
And so, and
I should be able to go with you at least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take me.
and just throw a twist in it, like, you know, it's also the mindset of the kid. You know, I know I use my kids, you know, I'm an example because, you know, it's just what it is. But my son committed to Charlie Weiss to go to Notre Dame. Charlie Weiss was a coach. When he got there, it was Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
We had to, you know, so now we couldn't just leave because we had on sign, with no portal. So I asked him, I said, you know, what we're gonna do, because you gotta sit a year and all that kind of stuff. He said, no. I need to commit
When they changed coaches, when was it?
when he came, the year we signed, and the year he came in, he
He
signed.
signed in February. They changed coaches after that.
Yeah,
Or the
yeah.
season right after.
After that.
No, right after. Like
So-
he signed.
So he never played under
He
Charlie
never
Weiss.
played under
Never
Charlie.
played
He
under
never
Charlie
shook his
You
hand.
know, now they're trying to change coaches in December before people sign. They tried to do it in
Yeah,
December.
yeah.
Charlie
But
Weiss
see,
had
but-
payout to go over here, and he's still making money.
The only reason
He
why
got
he
payout.
stayed at Notre Dame because he didn't commit to Charlie Weiss. He
To the
committed.
program. When I told my son, you better like this place, man, because you're gonna hoop up here when you get here, so you better get for the life in.
So we're gonna wrap it up, man. But loyalty is big from the youth level all the way up to the high school, all the way up to the college level, because you know this youth sports is the start of the business. You know what I'm saying? This is the incubator of everything else that comes from that. You know what I'm saying? So like the loyalty, it's hard to entrench loyalty in someone who's not cut like that. But all we can say is be loyal to yourself and your program and what you looking in the mirror and you knew, hey, I stood 10 toes down and whatever else happened. And we gotta try to build them kids the same way. It's saying, hey, like, I get what you want to move because it's flashy and they got a hot video and they got new jerseys and they got all that. But we one player away.
That's it.
And you that player. You feel me?
Well, you said it's my fault. We lost one player that swept one team, and they won the ball. One play.
All right, man, I appreciate y'all time, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, coach.
Hey, you need to do they shoot.